So you want to know what happens after the countdown timer reaches 0 and the giant fireball goes up. No, not that one. When the big important person pushes the big red button, giant sparklers ignite and light the huge amounts of flammable gases that are next to the high pressure, even more flammable liquids. With all engines running, it friggin' shoots off the pad like a rocket and starts throwing fuel away by lighting it on fire. The rocket wants to go really fast, but the stupid atmosphere doesn't want it to do that, so it tries as hard as it can to slow the rocket down. These two are constantly fighting, and soon they pass the point where they are both trying really hard to win. As the rocket wins more and more, the atmosphere is constantly getting weaker, and it's not that long before the rocket takes over and punches right out of the atmosphere. After the fight with the atmosphere, the mission is far from over. The next enemy has been lurking in the background, but now emerges in full force. Gravity. Gravity likes to play the long game. It can wait a few minutes to watch the rocket meet its demise. If the rocket doesn't get enough speed in time, gravity will pull it back into the domain of the atmosphere, and, with no energy left, the rocket will be pulled to its doom. So now is the time for the rocket to act, after it has beaten the atmosphere and before gravity can pull it back to Earth. Pushing its engines to provide all of the thrust, it is now going faster than ever. When almost all of its fuel has been used, the engines shut down and the top of the rocket separates from the bottom half. After a few seconds of silence, the second stage engine ignites. And now for something kinda different. The first stage has been falling back to Earth at many times the speed of sound, and it would like to slow down before it hits the ground. It deploys small wings and starts to use the atmosphere to both slow down and travel towards its target. It's aiming for a small piece of metal that is slightly wider than a football field. That seems big, but it's only about 3 rocket widths wide and about 5 rocket widths long. A common explanation is that it's like trying to land a pencil on a matchbox in high winds after throwing it over the Empire State Building. It's a very small target to hit. Using a lot of math, the rocket lights explosive gases near its rear section and places itself on the deck of the drone ship with all the grace and elegance of a controlled explosion. Meanwhile, the second stage continues to throw away precious fuel at an impressive rate as it continues to accelerate. After a few minutes, it gets to the speed it wants and the engine shuts down. After double and triple checking that it's in the correct orbit, a small spring extends and pushes the payload away from the rocket. So that's it. An initial skirmish with the fluid we breathe to stay alive, followed by a boss fight, then the bottom half of the rocket lands itself in the middle of the ocean, and the top half pushes a shiny gold thing away from it very slowly at many times the speed of sound. And that's how the Falcon 9 rocket works. Or, it's close enough. I love that script, it's awesome. But I'm also very tired and it might be complete crap.